Hello, everyone. I am Eleftheria from CrabNebula, and today I have the pleasure to have with me Parth. We are going to talk about his open source projects built with Tauri. And hi, how are you? Could you introduce yourself, please?
Yeah, hi, Aleph. I'm great. And so basically, I'm a software developer based in India. And I've worked for like past 3 years in various startups and building them quality software. And along with that, I'm very enthusiastic about open source and I really love building products and quite a few of them are very successful.
That's pretty amazing, actually, because I know you're young. So I'm very pleased and happy with your history so far. And I also know you are working with Tauri. How did you find Tauri?
Okay, so like last year when I wanted to build an alternative to Raycast, which was open source, I went to Tauri and I found it very amazing. And the memory footprint and the bundle sizes of Tauri was uh, quite amazing. And it was just like what we say, a performant alternative to Electron. And then I started using it.
Okay, that's pretty cool. And I also know that you have built quite a few projects. At least four of them are publicly accessible and are built with Tauri. So, would you like to show us these projects, and maybe you can share your screen also?
Yeah, definitely. So this is what I was talking about when I said like I was building a Raycast alternative.
Mhm.
So here we can see like you can search for files, you can search for applications and launch them. You can do some calculations and some time zone stuff and conversions. And it was totally like built in Tori and it was quite performant and it had around like just 8 MB of binary, which was very amazing compared to what it would have been if I used Electron.
Do you know if many people are using it so far?
I'll say yes, but not sure. Let's see. It has around 16 clones per week, so we can say quite a few
Wow.
people use
Yeah,
it.
yeah.
And since it's also been around for like a year and a half, I guess. Oh no, just a year.
How much time did it took you to build this project?
I don't remember. But I guess it took around like 2 3 weeks for me to build it. If we like want to download it, we can go to the releases folder, check out your, then we just drag it into the applications. But since it's currently open,
Mm-hmm.
I can just show you how it works. So I
Yes,
can
please.
press Command and Space to launch it. It launches this search window just like Raycast and Spotlight. You can search for applications like Discord, calculator, etc. And just if you press hit enter, it will launch that application. Along with that, you could do some basic calculations like 10 divided by 3. And if you press enter, it would just copy to your clipboard. So it's convenient for people to use it. Along with that, you could use it to search for files. Let's say I want to search for story.conf.json. It searches for all the files and I have it here. If I click
Mhm.
on one of it, it would open it. So yeah, that was Verve.
Was this also your first project built with Tyree?
Yes.
Nice, because usually people build smaller things, at least for their first projects, but I see this has a lot of features, so nice work.
Mhm. Thank you. This is the second product I built with Tori. So what it did is it showed you the GitHub contributions in your menu bar, and it was basically for you to motivate to contribute more to open source. And we actually had this kind of stuff in iOS, as in you can use a GitHub widget to show your contributions, but we didn't have something for Mac OS, so I built this.
Nice. And I can see
Moving
also
on,
in product hand that you have a lot of upvotes, which is really, really cool.
yeah, that's good.
Do you continue to develop this thing, or is it done?
Yeah, it's quite done. If because there's not much for it to solve things and improve things on it. So I guess that's it.
Nice. Okay, yeah, we can move on to your third project.
So moving on, this is PromptClip, and this wasn't actually my project. I was hired to do this and hired to work on this project. I used to work at magical.io, and CEO of that company, like we were quite worked for a while. Like I worked there for like a year and a half, I guess. And then after that, he asked me if I could build this, which is where you could store all your ChatGPT prompts in one place, so you don't have to like store it in your notes or stuff like that, and you could just store it and then what we say search
Uh,
for it and then copy it.
is this only for Mac, right?
Yes, most of them are for Mac only right now.
Okay. And is this open source?
Yeah, it's open source.
Nice.
So we could download it and let's try it out.
Mm-hmm.
So after we download it, I can run it. And then here you could like create a new prompt. Let's say generate an SEO friendly blog post. And then in the prompt, you could have something like mm, anything like generate SEO. And then you could add a category, let's say developer. And when you click add prompt, it adds the prompt. You could see it here. So whenever you go to ChatGPT, you could just press the shortcut, which is Command Shift G, and you have it here. So when you click on it, it copies it, and then you have it in your clipboard.
Okay, that's very helpful.
So this was also used by a lot of people, and mainly someone who writes much of blogs or someone who develops AI tools. It was quite helpful for them.
Mm-hmm. I write quite a few blogs, so maybe I should check that for myself.
Yeah, sure.
Okay, and by
So
the way, I will link all the projects down below so people can find them and they can click on them, they can contribute.
moving on to the final project which I recently built. Okay, so it's called Tmuxer. And before we get into what Tmuxer is, for someone who don't know what Tmux sessions are or what Tmux is, I'll just give a brief overview of what Tmux is. So Tmux is a terminal multiplexer which allows you to manage multiple sessions, panes, and windows in a single terminal instance. So it increases your efficiency with terminal programs. So you could have, let's say you start a Tmux session, you could have like these panes, two of them, do something here, run a server here, and then when you have to work on something else, you could just detach this session
Mhm.
and work on something else. But let's say now you have detached this session, you go to get your coffee and do something else. And when you come back, what you need to do is to get to that session, you have to type this command like tmux attach t, then the session name, and then you get there. To
Yeah.
just make this a bit quicker, what I built is Tmuxer. With Tmuxer, you can choose your default terminal at start. So a default macOS terminal, item, kitty, or alacrity, whatever you want. I'll choose alacrity for now. Then you choose your default shortcut, and then when you press Control Shift G, it lists all your sessions here. So when you click on your session which you want to run, it launches that session in your default window or default terminal you wanted. So it saves you from typing this every time.
Yeah, and I guess that you felt the need to build something like this because you didn't find something else that was helpful for you or your workflow, or was there another need that you built this project?
Yeah, I built it actually for that thing because I was quite finding myself opening the terminal, typing the command again and again, and it was quite repetitive for me. So I thought,
Mhm.
let's build something to solve this problem, and I think other people would have this problem as well.
From all these projects that you built, which one did you feel that was the most difficult to build and why?
Um, the most difficult to build was basically Verve because it was the first project as I built, and along with that, it also had a lot of complications like calculations, file search, and stuff like that, like currency conversion and stuff.
Mhm.
So to build it all as a first product, it was quite complicated, but yeah, it went quite well.
And when you had like troubles or bugs, how did you find the solution? Did you look at the documentation? Did you go to Tauri's Discord channel? Or what did you do?
Yeah, actually, the Tauri's documentation is very well built and it's easy to understand for a newbie and quite easy to search as well. So the documentation was really helpful. But
Mhm.
along with that, whenever I had some troubles which weren't in the documentation or I wasn't able to understand, I went to the Taurus Discord server and the team there was very helpful with the problems and they are quite active on Discord, so it was very helpful.
Yeah, and general advice for anyone that is listening right now, Tauri's Discord server is actually very, very good with solving your questions or your bugs, and the folks there are very active. So if you have any questions, feel free to go there or visit CrabNebula's Discord channel as well. And I have one more question. So, do you know DevTools by CrabNebula?
I didn't knew about DevTools by CrabNebula until yesterday, but when I discovered it, I was like, I missed on something very good, which would have helped me debug a lot of problems. Uh, and like the things which it provides, like the main thing was the it logging the IPC calls from Neo JavaScript to Rust. And I thought if I had that when I was building Verve, lot of problems would have been solved very easily because the communication and the gap between them uh, was quite huge, and like to understand what's going, like the parameters what are being passed to Rust and how it's responding was quite helpful.
Yeah, thank you for that. Our team is still working on that and improving the product. It is free for anyone that hasn't checked it already. It is free and it will continue to be free. Maybe in the future we will have some paid feature, but what you can find right now at this moment is free and it will continue to be free as well. All right, thank you very much. Would you like to add anything else or share with us a little bit about your future plans?
Yeah, so thank you very much for my having me here and um, asking me about my open source projects and about Tori. And for the future, I'm currently looking for some opportunity to work, and I'm continuously building lots of stuff. I'm building a social media application right now, and then some other stuff. And yeah, I'm really interested in building products and continually developing lots of stuff.
Nice. I've seen your work. I've also checked your GitHub. I can see that you're very, very active and you're contributing a lot to open source projects. I know also that your projects are open source. So if anyone wants to contribute, feel free, guys, to do that. I will leave in the description, as I mentioned earlier, your project as well as your GitHub profile. And if people wants to contact you, if they have any opportunities, they should do it. You seem like an amazing developer and a great guy. So thank you a lot for our interview as well.
Yeah, thank you so much as well.